Thanks, Cian. And I want to thank everybody who contributed to the debate, but mostly I want to thank young people and students for forcing these issues to the top of the agenda, particularly during the period of COVID. I want to thank the school students, the Leaving Cert students in particular, last year and this year, who simply refused, despite the government's obsession with trying to carry on with the Leaving Cert, who insisted they were not going to be forced to do the Leaving Cert and forced the government to respond to them. I want to thank the student nurses and midwives who educated us all about the dishonesty of the praise for frontline healthcare workers when there was thousands of student nurses and midwives working for nothing on the front line on their placements. I want to thank the OTs and the radiographers and the physiotherapists who contacted us, the graduate entry medical students, and graduate entry pharmacists and other health professionals, students and training, for raising the issues about how difficult it is for them to actually continue and complete their education because of the cost of fees, because of the extortionate cost of accommodation, and who are just sick of it. When we need them more than ever, we make it extraordinarily difficult for them. We put immense pressure and stress on them rather than make it easier for them to complete their education, an education which is a benefit to us all. And if we've learned anything from COVID, it is about we need these young people. We need them in our health services. We need them to build the houses that we so desperately need. We need more teachers in our overcrowded classrooms, some of the most overcrowded in Europe, and you can go through the list. So when I hear, and I want to thank USI for their Education for All campaign, which plays a very central part of this motion, who are determined to fight to get rid of fees, to remove the barriers to education, to getting into education, and to completing education. And, you know, I hear the Minister saying that he agrees with much of the sentiment of this motion, but it's going to take time, we can only do it incrementally, and so on. And that is just not good enough, saying we agree with the sentiment. You see, the fact of the matter is this. 80,000 students have applied for the CAO, and there are only 55,000 places. That means 25,000 students who have gone through the anxiety, the hardship, the stress, the competition, the pressure that you get every year, but added to that in the midst of a pandemic, are going to be disappointed, potentially demoralised in this already extraordinarily difficult situation. Who is to blame for that? The government and the state are to blame because they should have the 80,000 places. Nobody should have to be demoralised and depressed and feel excluded and be denied that access to the next level of education. So I really say to the government, if not now, when? If this is not the moment to make the radical changes that will ensure that people can progress to the higher or further education or apprenticeship of their choice, when are we going to do it? If this is not the moment where we're going to scrap fees, when the financial pressure on so many families is even greater, to remove those pressures that lead to the mental health problems that so many young people have, if we're not going to do it now, when are we going to do it? If we're not going to regularise the situation of thousands and thousands of people who work in the higher education system, who are on part-time, temporary contracts, underpaid, living in poverty, when are we going to do it? When we need people who do research, who push the boundaries of science, of art, of culture, of technological advancement. If we're not going to do it now, After this pandemic and the existential challenge it has posed to our society, when are we going to do it?
Thank you, Deputy Boyd Barrett.
So it is on that basis we push this motion, and I want to encourage the students and the young people who have made their voices heard over the last year to continue that fight for education for all.